If you're a grazer on the African savanna, you naturally risk becoming someone else's dinner. But there are ways to protect yourself. You could have confusing coloration, teamwork, or high speed. And one of the grazers, which has all these characteristics, is this one, the zebra.
Is it black stripes on white, or white stripes on black? Well, it depends on which species of zebra you're looking at. These ones, Grevy's zebras, are known for their distinctive pin stripes, which do not extend to the dorsal or belly stripes like those on their smaller cousins, the plains zebras. When zebras move together, the resulting kaleidoscope of stripes can certainly be visually confusing to predators, but more subtly, they are thought to protect these wild equids against the dangerous tsetse fly. Known for spreading the deadly sleeping sickness in both hoofstock and humans, these flies, attracted to large solid expanses of color, appear to get confused by the zebra stripes. The largest wild equids, the long faces and large rounded ears, give Grevy's zebras a rather donkey-like rather than horse-like appearance. Found only in the arid grasslands of Ethiopia, they have a social structure similar to that of the wild asses, with solitary stallions defending a territory and mating with small groups of mares that wander through in search of grazing and water. Apart from living in herds, zebras also team up with other animals to counter predators. One of their most frequent allies is the largest bird in the world, the ostrich. The tall vantage point the ostriches have lets them spot danger from afar, while the zebra's acute hearing detects hidden danger. One thing both these animals have in common is their reduction in digits as an adaptation for speed. The ostrich is the only bird with 2 toes on each foot, while the zebra, like its equine cousins the horse and donkey, has a single hoof on each foot. The principle is that the fewer digits on each limb, the less friction with the ground, and the faster the animal can run. Indeed, being flightless, the ostrich's main defense, like its stripy neighbors, is its speed. When pressed, though, both can defend themselves with bone-breaking kicks. It makes sense that the largest bird would lay the largest eggs, and the ostrich certainly does that. Each of these enormous eggs contains the equivalent of 20 chicken eggs, so they're a tempting source of protein for any freeloaders out there on the savannas. Another bird that often accompanies the herds of grazers is the marabou stork. Largest of the stork family, this grotesque-looking bird with its bald head and murderous-looking beak is essentially a stork trying to be a vulture. However, their beaks are adapted for seizing and stabbing, not for ripping. So when the savanna's carcass cleanup crew gets busy, they wait for a vulture with its hooked beak to tear off strips of flesh, then they mug the vulture. Even scavengers have their scavengers too, but on the savannas, it just pays to be opportunistic.
Looking at the animals on the savannas, one thinks mainly of claws and hooves, meat and grass. But there is other food to be had out on these plains, and we'll be looking at some animals that opted for these alternative diets in the next video.